that I took a moment to go check on Untapped Premium that I luckily have, where you can see the win rates of the decks since the bannings. They are collecting a lot of data, of course, because a lot of people are logged into Untapped. And with the premium, you get to see like all the insights of that. And I was just curious, what's the data saying in the first week, right? And Dimir was up there. Dimir was the most played deck by far, and also had a very high win rate. But the most or the highest win rate deck of them all, this one right here, Roots. Not this particular list. Basically, what is still successful on the ladder apparently is just the list that Eli Cassis played 3 weeks ago to an 8-2 finish at the Pro Tour. Eli, of course, a teammate of the testing team I was working with, so I was, very much in the weeds of things, and also played a lot against and with Roots myself, so I have some insights, insights about the deck. But yeah, I was certainly, I wasn't surprised to see it to be that successful, but I was surprised to see the same old list still be good, because that list was very meta-gamed, of course. And yeah, so for example, it had 4 Haywire Mites in the main deck. Haywire Mite excellent against Cory Steelcutter, excellent against Temporary Lockdown out of Omni, excellent against Monstrous Rage out of Mono Red. All those 3 decks are gone, pretty much, right? Or at least, sure, there's still red decks around, but they don't have Rage anymore, right? So you don't, the justification to run Haywire Mite is just a lot lower than it used to be. So that's why I wanted to, like, of course, I made changes to this deck. Like, this is not the original Eli Cassis list. I added a Thrillseeker to the main deck. I added a Scavenger to the main deck, a second Cauldron. Some of these numbers might be wrong. I don't know, the cash grab I added as well. I could see maybe rather have a Dredger inside. I mean, it's all like close between these. But yeah, I made some changes to the list to make it, in my view, better for the current state of affairs. And with that, it could have an even better win rate than if you would just take the 3 weeks old list, right? But it's still crushing. It's still crushing the metagame. And I think the reason why it's crushing right now is Dimir midrange is not very good against green black Roots. Dimir cannot really interact with the deck. If you get the Roots down, you just go off, and Ghost Vacuum is not a very good sideboard card against Roots. It really doesn't do a whole lot. You rather have something like Lantern, which is fine, but optimally you have Rest in Peace or Leyline of the Void, but few people are playing those, and Dimir obviously doesn't have access to Rest in Peace. Maybe we see Leyline of the Void in the future, who knows? But hey, even that you have counterplay against with Roots, of course. You have Haywire Mites and maybe some sideboard cards. So yeah, the black mid-range decks, especially the ones without white or green, just cannot really interact with Roots, and that engine card will just body them. And their clock is not very fast, so trying to race doesn't matter too much. And also drawing a bunch of cards of Curiosity won't matter against Roots. Because a lot of the interaction Dimir has is like cut down and go for the throats and Flood Pits Drowner. Yeah, it's not going to do anything if they go through the combo. It doesn't stop Tyvar minus on Osteomancer or whatever. So yeah. Yeah, and I mean, about the deck itself, it is pretty powerful. It's a powerful engine deck that tries to get Roots down, of course. Roots is very, very important. And then when you have Roots down, then you want to have Tyvar and a filled graveyard, which is not that difficult to do between all the mill effects. You usually get cards into the graveyard. And then you get the Osteomancer back for the Tyvar, and that will lead you to be able to exile cards from your graveyard with that tap ability, foraging, exiling 3 cards, to then cast a creature from your graveyard. And by doing so, when you have an Insidious Roots in play, you can forage away a creature in those 3 cards that you exiled before the foraging, and by casting the creature that you want to get back, you get 2 different plant tokens. And with Tyvar in play, all creatures have essentially haste abilities, So those plants are able to make mana. And that's how you can churn and keep doing it. Keep churning through your deck. And build a massive board, build massive plants, mills more stuff over, and so on and so on. And at the end of it, you can maybe find the Voldaren Thrillseeker to then shoot a bunch of plants at your opponent that are gigantic and kill them. That's the idea. One very contentious point during our testing for this deck was what numbers you run with these cards here. That was a huge struggle to figure this out. You run 4 Overlord for Tyvar. Those are the good millers. Those are the ones you definitely want. Overlord is your best one. But what about these here? And I'm still not very sure. And I think it might also be metagame dependent which one you want to have. They all have upsides and downsides. Town Greeter and Rubblebelt are nice to have as they allow you with Osteomancer to fill your graveyard more. These two you cannot recast, right? So they're not as good with Osteomancer. But Dredger's Insight, of course, buys you a lot of time with that whenever one or more artifacts or creature cards leave your graveyard, you gain 1 life ability, because a lot of things leave and leave the graveyard all the time in this deck. May it be Tyvar, may it be Overlord, may it be Soul Cauldron, may it be Roots. So that one's nice to buy time, and Cash Grab is nice to pass the turn against the counterspell, you know? Always nice to have instants against blue decks, and also to find your roots, because all of these, Overlord, Tyvar, literally all of these mill effects are not able to find roots. There's a bit of an issue of this deck that the good mill effects are not able to find roots, so that's why you kind of want to have Cash Grab as well, but Cash Grab isn't that good either because you want to have a very high creature count, so there's a lot of like things you have to balance to make everything work. For example, maybe you don't need the Insight. I mean, Insight is good against like aggressive strategies because it buys you time. Dimir doesn't beat you down that badly, so maybe instead of the Insight, you rather have, I don't know, Town Greeter number 3. Allows you to dig a little bit deeper with the Adept. I don't know. It's tricky. I'm not really sure what's the exact right way. And, you know, like when a team of, you know, very experienced Pro Tour players spend 2.5 weeks on trying to break this deck and figuring out the optimal list. And at the end of it, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I can't even tell you what is correct and what is not. I mean, Ely might be in my position here, maybe have more confidence in what is correct and not. But honestly, I think even he would say like, hey, this is not very clear. And like also metagame dependent, as I said in the beginning of the video. And right now the metagame is still very, you know, there's a lot of uncertainty around it, right? And yeah, Great Arashin City, I'll mention that one last here. It's kind of nice as a grindy card with Insidious Roots. It exiles a creature, then so with roots in play, it makes plants, which is nice. And yeah, Coati Scavenger is the card that we, in the end, found to be the best thing to find you roots, because you can find Scavenger with everything, right? Besides Tyvar, everything finds Scavenger. Well, Town Greeter doesn't, I guess, but a lot of the cards find Scavenger, and you can Osteomancer Scavenger back as well. And then if you've milled over like 20 cards, which, you know, is not very unlikely, it's just what the deck does, then at some point you will have milled the roots, and then you can Scavenger back the roots. So we found that to be a little bit more reliable than the Cash Grab at finding the roots. That's why you see these Scavengers. And of course, Scavenger can also find you an Osteomancer or a Tyvar in a pinch, whatever you need, or Scavenging Ooze. I guess I didn't really touch on the Scavenging Ooze. This one is also interesting. I'm not really sure how good it is in this metagame. I don't think it's actually that good. I could easily see cutting one and adding like another mill effect to make the deck like more consistent. But yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I'm just gonna try to figure things out here with you guys in this video. I even after playing 5 or 10 matches, I might not even really be sure about what to do exactly. But there's certainly a little bit of redundancy in some of these ways to like go over the top and chain through. All these cards are like good at making roots very powerful, and you might not need that many of them. And of course, with Omniscience out of the picture, the Ooze is maybe less relevant. Llanowar Elf and Dragon Sniper are nice early plays. Dragon Sniper is sort of like your green Doomblade. It's a creature that blocks everything. and you want to have a high creature count. And Molt Tender was a huge addition from Aether Drift for what it's worth. Very, very, very good in the deck, as it is a mana dork, ramps you a little bit, it mills you, and it also enables roots by exiling creatures from your graveyard, so it's huge for the deck. Yeah, sideboard, 2 more Dragon Snipers. This is something they did at the Pro Tour as well. I think that's pretty reasonable into the new meta game. It's just one of the best removal spells for the deck. Dark Confidant, very nice in this deck. Very, very good as a sideboard card. The deck is very cheap. And, you know, people bring in Graveyard Hate and all Enchantment Hate and whatnot, try to interact with you on that axis. And then you just play Dark Confidant, and they have to really kill that thing. Otherwise, it just draws you 2 cards per turn. It's very good in the deck. It's also a creature, so can get it back with Tyvar if they kill it, or just be a creature for your roots, whatever. 2 go for the throat, some removal against some annoying creatures, 2 Duress, makes sense. I moved the Haywire Mites to the sideboard. I mean, I don't think Temporary Lockdown and I don't think enchantments and artifacts are popular enough to justify running this 4 times in the main deck as we did for the PT. But, you know, it's still very excellent as a card in the entire archetype. It works very well with things, and it's a cheap creature. And so I just put the other 2 in the sideboard, and if we run into a deck where they're good, we're going to side them in. Tear Asunder, I felt like this might make sense in the face of Enduring Curiosity, and maybe like Ghost Vacuum or Rest in Pieces, whatever. A Swarmweaver, it's a card that I was suggesting during testing. People didn't end up playing it or even trying it out much at all, but I just thought that it might be nice to have like one powerful creature that you can get back in like a grindy setting against black midrange. And for the Pro Tour, that really wasn't the meta game for it. But now, I mean, Swarmweaver seems really good against Dimir. I mean, the 2 flyers are great. It's sort of like an Overlord of the Mistmoss-esque card, and we all know how good Overlord is against Dimir. So I think, you know, if not now, when else would you play this? I mean, this seems like a great time for it. And then we have 2 Stormbroods, which again nicely functions as a creature that is also a removal spell. The 5 mana side is really just like a additional bonus. What you often do with this is that you find it with one of your things that finds creatures, and then you kill a thing of theirs. But yeah, you do want to have some clean answers as well, so that's why you see the go for the fruits. And yeah, that is a pretty long introduction. I hope I could get you up to speed on why this deck is good and so on. And, you know, I mean, it has the highest win rate on Untapped Premium. That's like more than 1,000 matches at data at this point. So there's a lot of, you know, backing for this deck to be strong. So it's certainly a must try out right now. All right, let's jump into it. Huh. Yeah, this is the awkwardness of too many of these cards. You don't want to have too many of these slower cards like Ooze, Scavenger, Thrillseeker. And the deck is maybe a little bit too cluttered with them right now. Maybe the deck wants more Llanowar Elf in this metagame. I don't know. The Llanowar Elf has its own issues. You don't want to draw too many of them. I mean, this hand, I think this hand is just too clunky. If I would know I'm playing against a slow matchup, I would just keep. I think on the play, I would also keep. But on the draw, this just seems, I don't know, it just seems so slow. Like, this card is basically already a mulligan, kinda. You kind of want to mill this over. You don't want to have it in your opening hand. These are very slow. I'm going like... If this cash grab finds me a roots, I play a roots turn 3. I'm not even making a plant. Like, I'm starting to do things turn 4 at best. Yeah, this seems better. I like this hand more. I'm just going to bottom an Osteomancer, and then we have Overlord. I mean, the hand is not much better, but it's a little bit better at least. Okay, we're playing against either the Cauldron deck or the Raft Monument deck I ran into the other day. Okay, it's Cauldron. Molt Tender, a turn too late. This might be a bad matchup, actually. Although, I don't know. We do, like, the nice thing about the Roots deck is that with Cauldron and Ooze in the main deck, you have a lot of Graveyard Hate already in the main deck, so you're better positioned into other graveyard decks. I just want to cash grab. I want to find roots. That's the first order of business. Okay. I have a lot of Tear. I should have let him at least. Okay, now I have my own Cauldron. I mean, I have to take that here, right? To shut off their Cauldron abilities to get the Vivi back. So yeah, I'll play these two. It's interesting if I want to use my Cauldron. If they go like Fear of Missing Out, discard Vivi, they can then go crazy if I exile the Winter Knight. But exiling the Winter Knight seems kind of good at disrupting their card velocity. The question is, do I care that much about card velocity here? Do I care about them having more cards? Am I just able to kill them anyways? Maybe, probably. I feel like the Vivi thing isn't even that dangerous. The Vivi mana thing isn't even that dangerous if they don't have cards, right? They can have all the mana in the world, but if they don't have cards, it's not that important. So I'm going to exile it. And the next turn, we probably just go Overlord. Maybe Inside first. What annoyed me a little bit, like why I didn't want to play the deck in the end, I felt like the matchups were also a little bit too tight for my taste. Like the Izzet Prowess and Mono Red matchups, in my opinion, were a little bit tight. At least at the point where I was testing the deck still. At the end, I made a decision to just not do it anymore and just focus on Jeskai solely at the end. Others still improved the deck at that time. For example, the card Souls of the Lost was something I wasn't working with, but they registered for the event. Very late in testing, which is a good card against Mono Red. I don't have it in the sideboard anymore because I don't think there's justification to run it in this metagame. But yeah, I didn't want to play the deck because I felt the games where you had roots and where you didn't were just such a huge delta. That was annoying me. Roots is pretty important to the sort of like power level of the deck. So they have two cards in hand. I could just play an Osteomancer. I think I kind of want to get a land drop going and then just play an Osteomancer. So I would like to Death Touch block that Tear. There's the roots. Unfortunately, for me, no land. Haywire Mite, huh? I'm under a pretty good amount of pressure. I think I'm just gonna take the Mite, play Tender, and pass the turn. This deck is also difficult to play. You have a lot of things going on, a lot of little decisions. It's annoying to play in paper too, because at some points you have like 10 tokens in play. They all have different powers. It gets messy. So there's a couple of reasons why I didn't want to play it. But yeah, the main one was that it just felt like a much weaker deck. Oh, they exiled my Ooze. I didn't even realize that. That's funny. So they can, for a colorless mana, grow their Tear. Huh. That's actually really good. That's something I didn't consider at all, that they could exile my own graveyard and get my Ooze. Maybe I needed to exile that. No, but I had no chance, right? I milled this Ooze with like what? How did I mill this Ooze? With cash grab, right? It's pretty good. All right. I mean, I'm probably dead here. I'm just like wondering how this matchup plays out. I don't know who's favored. I don't know. Maybe they are. We're both kind of doing our thing, but they interacted a little bit more with me. Like they have Torture Towers and Glacial Dragon Hunts to kill some of my creatures. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna exile the Dragon Hunt, I guess. And then play Osteomancer Haywire Mite. Then I can chump block with the Mite and blow up the Cauldron. And hopefully block the Tears of the Osteomancer. You know, it's a plan. We're at 7 life. These singular graveyard hate pieces are not very good, but something like Ooze is pretty annoying. Because it's not singular. I mean, it's a single mana, but it's like repetitive exiling. So like Ghost Vacuum or Cauldron in itself, not that threatening. But something like Ooze is. You don't want your entire graveyard to be eaten. But yeah, I mean, now that we have the roots in the graveyard, we just find a Scavenger and then we establish our combos. Not against the graveyard hate, but just like generally speaking, this is sort of how it plays out. I guess if this is a very popular deck in the metagame right now, then the Mite makes more sense. They can exile. I was just realizing they can exile my Mite here. And then use that to kill my Cauldron if they want to. With the fear. I mean, I feel like the Cauldron has done a lot of work at this point, so I'm not... Like, if they want to sack their 3-4 to do that, I think I'm okay with that. It's kind of funny that I always gain these low life points with the Dredger's Insight. I don't know how much life Dredger's Insight has gained me, but it's been a bit. Okay, they just eat more of my graveyard. Fair enough. Yeah. So now I can't Scavenger back the thing anymore. But hey, at least they don't have a removal spell. And we have 2 Overlords as the last cards here. They're out of gas. Okay. There's the roots. Let's go. Yeah, we want to go roots first, then we go Overlord. And we did find something. Okay. And yeah, I can't Osteomancer anything here. The plants don't have haste. So no mana making. And nothing to exile that has any abilities that are relevant. Yeah. Ooh, that's a good one to rip off the top. Probably the best card in your deck to draw at that point. Magic's always exciting, huh? You think you're turning the corner and then they draw Midnight Stories. Yeah, that's kind of nasty. Oh, with the trigger on the stack, I could have exiled it. My bad. That was most certainly a punt, wasn't it? Damn it. Yeah, with the trigger on the stack of the discard, I could have exiled the Winter Knight before they get priority. They don't even want to cast it. Okay. Well, Let me put a stop at the end of combat then. Alright. I'll block here and then jump. I don't have to jump, I guess, but probably should, realistically speaking. And I will... I mean, I guess at this point I don't need to exile the Winter Night Stories anymore. That's annoying. Okay. I think I will just exile that then. Okay. Super interesting matchup. Definitely like a dance here. Oh, Dragon Sniper is awesome here. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna... I was thinking about hardcasting this. Not unreasonable to do here, but they can grow their creatures into bigger than Overlord. I'm just gonna do it like this again. Really need to hit a creature here. I mean, I have a lot of creatures in my deck, but okay, we did. We did find another sniper. That's pretty awesome. And yeah, we're slowly chugging away here. Slowly just stabilizing, grinding them out. And this is what the Roots deck can also do. It can be the combo deck that kill you out of nowhere, but it can also be this grindy, weird deck. Like now I have both the creatures here covered. I have these Overlords coming down the line, and I'm making bigger and bigger plants every turn, potentially. I mean, I still have these 2 town creatures in my graveyard, which next turn I can exile one with Molt Tender, exile one with Cauldron, grow my plants into 4/5s, 3/4s. They keep ripping the Winter Night. What a G. What a G. That's pretty sick. When you think you got it. No, no, no. Magic Arena wants to keep the game exciting. I think I'm still probably ahead. These snipers were really nice top decks. Oh, fines with the Overlord, I guess. Yeah, I don't know how to configure this deck post bannings. It's interesting. They're just not able to find Vivi ever. Vivi, not the worst card either. But at this point, the extra mana probably doesn't do a whole lot for them. I guess they can just Thrillseeker burn me to death. That's a thing. They can just make a big Mako and then just kill me with Thrillseeker. Yeah, that's not good. Don't really have counterplay against that either. Oh well. 7 additional counters. Yeah. Them ripping Winter Night Stories twice off the top. Not nice. Not very nice. For some reason, these guys have Vigilance. So we can get in there. Huh. Well, I literally passing the turn last time, I thought I was in a great position, but I guess if your opponent draws 6 extra cards, 7 with the fear there, things change a little bit. And yeah, they did. Now I don't really feel that great anymore, because now if they kill 1 sniper, they activate the Sanctuary, they already have a pretty good attack, and if they ever find the Thrillseeker, which they have like 3 copies in their deck. I mean, their draw was ridiculously good. Like they literally like top deck Winter Night Stories twice. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this matchup still. Like maybe this is favorable. Maybe they just got a little bit unlucky. Maybe they just got luckier than they should get normally. Huh. What is good? What is bad? How does this play out? Yeah. Okay. Is it so they have like they don't really have the whole lot of I don't think they have a whole lot of cards to bring in out of the sideboard, to be honest. I probably want snipers against them. Maybe go for the throat. Maybe just all the removal cards. I don't know how many Haywire Mites I want. Maybe a third copy at least. What is bad against their Cauldron? Like Coati Scavenger is not great. Do I need Thrillseeker? I don't think this matchup needs me to have Thrillseeker. I don't think so. I think Thrillseeker is more important for like control decks. Can trim a Town Greeter. Can trim Rubblebelt, maybe an Elf. Then I want to have Stormbroods, I think. Tear Asunder, Dragon Sniper. Might just cut all the elves. And then maybe go for the throat as well, or a sniper. I feel like go for the throat is just a little better against Vivi specifically. Vivi is just a threat, even they don't have to attack. Tricky. Maybe I should have cut a Scavenger because it's bad against Cauldron. This hand's great. Very important for this deck, by the way, that this is on green on the front side. This would be on black. The mana would be a good amount worse. All right. Torture Tower, of course, also one of the, I think the best 1-mana removal spell for maybe lay down arms, I guess. But, you know, killing most things, exiling them, and also targeting Tyvar in a pinch is really good. So Torture Tower certainly makes things more annoying. Alright, so I have a choice here. I can develop Molt Tender, or I can develop a plant. The plant, both of them kind of have haste next turn. I think I just play Tender. Gives me more leeway. I mean, I guess the way I get punished... No, I don't really get punished, to be honest. No, there's no... I don't see a way I can get punished for doing one line or the other. That's a lot of pressure again here. Yeah, maybe I should have all 4 Dragon Snipers in the deck. Dragon Sniper seems very nice against some of this stuff. Okay, so if I go Town Greeter here, I can Tyvar back the Town Greeter and start doing things. Probably something I should consider doing here. So I didn't make a land drop yet, so that land is going to be nice. Okay, it's tapped, unfortunately. Now I can exile a creature, make another mana. Yeah, I can do a lot of things here. So exile. I think the Overlord. Get a plant. Yeah, we're kind of going off now. Cast Dredgers inside. There's another Dragon Sniper. That's beautiful. I could also take a land. Wait, actually, maybe I should cast Overload, actually. Wait, let me think about this. I should take a land, probably. As that keeps building a board here. I guess that's stupid, isn't it? No, that was stupid. Yeah, that was a mistake. Because land is the same as getting a plant. That just wasn't very smart. And I could have had one more plant instead of a land, which would have been better. But yeah, I mean, this is obviously pretty powerful for turn 4. And they did interact with me, right? Like they killed my 1-drop, so I was able to do all this with roots, even though they interact with me, and this just tells you what this deck is capable of. And I could have had one more plant in play right now instead of this Arashin city. So that's my mistake. But yeah, this Cauldron deck is nice. I mean, it threatens these aggressive creature draws, but it also threatens the combo. The Voldaren Thrillseeker gives you a lot of burn and reach. It's a cool deck. So what we're looking for right now is the Osteomancer. Osteomancer would let us churn through our deck better. During the proto testing, we certainly at times had 3 copies of Osteomancer and not just 2, which is currently the case. Okay, I might just be able to kill my opponent with plant tokens here this turn, though. How do I want to start? Probably inside. A Coati, which can get me... So I don't have the Thrillseeker in my deck anymore. I really am just looking, like... I think I might just take the Overlord, because... I don't think I really care about the Coati right now. Like, I don't care about any cards to get back from my graveyard. I think it doesn't really matter what I do, to be honest. I think I just have lethal here. There's an Ooze. Ooze is kind of like a kill con here. So what I can do here, I can make mana, exiling whatever, sniper, get more plants, untapped tender, do it again. Yeah. And then play the Ooze, and then with the remaining summoning sick plants, I can eat up all the creatures in my graveyard with the Ooze. I can also cast Overlord before doing that, and then I'll attack with probably enough power here. And my opponent righteously conceded. I think they were just dead here, very likely. Or like mathematically, probably already with all the things that I had, they were dead. I'm just a little too lazy to make the math. I think you saw what was going to happen there. Yeah, I think I want all snipers. Maybe just cut the Scavenger. The Ooze. Yeah, I think Ooze is okay. I don't know, but Town Greeter was great there with the Tyvar. Rubblebelt was pretty good too. It's tricky. How good is the Cauldron? I mean, they're a graveyard deck in some ways, so maybe it's just good. Yeah. With these type of decks where there's a lot of synergy and a lot of moving pieces that you want to have a high creature count, but you do want to have interaction and so on, it's really tricky to sideboard at times. This hand is not great against the creature draw of theirs, but it does interact well with their other stuff. It seems a little too weak for my taste. I think I want a hand that does something more proactive. This is a very interactive, reactive hand. And I think I'd rather have hands, especially with roots. It's between Sniper and Stormbrood. Probably because I already have a Sniper, I should just put this away. Leave this in my hand. Okay. It's gotta be Tender, I think. Develop the Tender on turn 1 more often than not. You could play Sniper and go for a block, but You really want to develop the Tender, I think. Okay. Now it's interesting. I could like try to kill the Mako. They go Terza, I might be able to kill any of their creatures. But I kind of want to block with the sniper on the Mako, honestly. I think I'm just gonna get the roots down. I don't know about this turn though. Maybe it's tricky. Maybe I'm meant to do this. I just don't want to do this on the Mako. I want to block the Mako with the Death Touch guy. But I could see scenarios where, like Terza here, for example, Terza, put counters on Terza, make this a 4/4, but just blank my Stormbrood. And then if I play Sniper and they torch the tower to Sniper, I might just be dead. Goes back to that decision point here. Maybe the Sniper is just better than Stormbrood. It's certainly a mana cheaper, which is pretty huge on the draw. And yeah, it's also a creature that goes to the graveyard for what it's worth. Well, this gets shuffled back into the deck, so that is a difference. They don't have anything? Wow. Interesting. Ooze was a terrible draw. Like here, I'm really missing the millers. I need cards that mill. Not like these endgame cards. Maybe you can trim short on these. I don't know. Maybe one is enough. Especially if you played Thrillseeker. I feel like I have too much endgame cards. Like I shouldn't play Thrillseeker and both Ooze in the deck, I think, and two Coatls. It's too much late game stuff. Here I just don't have a good turn at all. I just have a pretty anemic turn. I don't really want to play this. I don't know what's going on over there. The entire turn was Molt Tender killing. I don't know. I'm just going to play an Ooze. I don't want to play this when I have a bunch of 2-drops in my hand. I want to play this when I draw my 3rd land. And I can double spell. They have another torch. It's pretty likely that that is a card in their hand. They could have maybe Winter Night Stories. Could have Stormbrooded the Mako there, maybe. Maybe it's overly cautious to keep playing around Vivi at this point. They might have just played Vivi last turn. Liberate, sure. That's fine. Happy to have my redundant Ooze get killed. Okay. Looks like they kept a very interactive hand. No, they did have Vivi. Alright, I get rewarded for my play. Sweet. I really do get rewarded here. That makes me happy. That makes me very happy. Played around the Vivi and yeah, they had it. Okay. And a torch. Alright. Well, now wow, they are doing that. Okay, so that means their hand is not good. They're right to the top. Well, we all know what that card is. It's a Winter Night Stories, obviously. Yeah, I mean, Winter Night Stories is super scary here. That's the one I don't want to see. But yeah, that gave me some information about their hand. Their hand seems to be weak. Okay. I can abuse the Vivi extra mana here. But I can't really abuse it for anything. Well, at this point I really just need to draw mill effects. Enabling cards. I could put a counter on it right now if I think they have a 3rd copy of Torch. I don't know. I don't think so. Please. Oh, Monument. Wait a minute. Okay, so you run Monument and the Vivi combo? Okay. Interesting. You kept that on top? What's your last card then? Oh, you have another torch? You're gonna sack this to the... No, it's a Winter Knight? Oh, it's a Mako. Okay, it's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, I could use this now. They're down to 1 mana, they use their Vivi. I guess... I guess I'll just exile the Vivi. I don't know, I guess I'll just exile the Ooze. I guess if I draw roots off the top, this was a mistake. Then I would have gotten 2 plants if I draw roots. Oh, the frick? This blue-red deck just draws so well. For some reason. I think I should have exiled the Vivi. Yeah. I think that was a mistake. That sucks. Yeah, I just didn't draw any mill effects in the top 12, and then the deck also fumbles. I mean, it is a synergistic combo deck. I think it's very unlikely to draw any of your mill effects. I mean, you have a lot of them, 4 Tyvar, 4 Overlords, all the rest of them, so like 15 cards or something. Very unlikely to happen, but I guess, yeah, just got a little bit unlucky here. Okay, they're flooding for the first time. For the first time, I can't believe it. Probably just want to make the ooze bigger. Just have one gigantic ooze. Ooze and Cauldron also somewhat redundant. Ely at the Pro Tour only played 1 Cauldron. But a long time ago, there were 2 Cauldrons in the deck list. I think it was like a last 2 days type of change to move down to 1 Cauldron. I think the Cauldron, it's not exceptional in the Roots decks, but it is nice. All right, well, we have a lot of good top decks now, that's for sure. They have Winter Knight stories. They have a Vivian play. I'm at 8. Okay, they keep drawing lands. Okay. All right. Who draws there? I feel like I have more hits than them, but they also have a few hits, right? Like, that's a hit, for example, and that's a reason why they shouldn't play lands. Maybe made a mistake, luckily for me. But yeah, now they're going off the Monument especially, so they draw 2. They can also drain me. It's not pretty. Yeah. I need to find like an Overlord ASAP at this point. Okay, they keep playing these lands, even though they have stuff like Tear Asunder in the deck. I don't know about that. Come on, give me a Miller. Jesus. I'm getting really unlucky. Top 15, none of the mill cards. Molt Tender is also a mill card in a way. All right. I don't know. I don't know who's favored in this matchup. I mean, I'm losing it, but that doesn't mean anything. It seems like a very close matchup. Play skill is important and just drawing well, I guess, and knowing your plans. I feel like, yeah, just maybe a close matchup. I don't know. I could see it being favored for either of the two. Definitely doesn't seem like a slam dunk. I don't know. Although, if I had to guess, I would maybe guess that Roots has the better abilities. Because Roots is able to interact with everything. Like, I can kill a Vivi, I can block a Mako, I can kill all these creatures, right? But they cannot interact with Roots. So that makes me think that Roots is better. Yeah. I should have exiled the Internet Stories there, whatever. I kind of like thought I was going to, like, I was dead that game no matter what I did. Yeah, I think that makes me think that Roots is favored in the matchup. You could argue that, like, the blue-red deck is very strong, it's very consistent. And that could make me think that maybe it's better as a deck because it does more often the same thing, while the Roots deck, you know, if it doesn't find Roots, it's less powerful and so on and so on. But yeah, I think in this game, we often win from this standpoint. I think there's a lot of, like, if you run this in 100 different dimensions, run the same game again and again and again, it doesn't happen often that you in top 15 cards you don't find any mill effects whatsoever like that. Like, I did see a lot of Roots games in the last last month, and that did not happen very often at all. So that this is like a very low percentage chance to happen. And this particular game, I probably would have won in like 9 out of 10 cases. But yeah, I mean, if you don't draw Roots, you draw a little bit weaker. And they have a nice curve out, and they draw a lot of cards. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a close matchup, I think. That's my verdict right now. It's really difficult to assess. There's a lot of moving pieces. The argument that they can't attack with Roots is huge, but then the argument that they like have a lot of velocity and pressure and ways to interact in other ways, like Torture Tower, is kind of nice. I don't know. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go on to the next match. Okay. Yeah, that seems fair. Is this just everywhere, this deck? I don't seem to be able to get out of gold, by the way, with the decks that I'm playing here for the videos. I haven't been playing standard besides doing videos. But I'm not able to get out of it, I guess. What is going on over there? I don't know. I made one change. I moved a Dragon Sniper from the sideboard to the main deck. Over the Voldaren Thrillseeker, I swapped them. Dragon Sniper seems nice in this format with Dimir midrange. I don't know what's going on here. They're just making it easy for us, I guess. I probably should start with Overlord here. Oh, they found a counterspell. Is this just like some tough control deck? I don't know what's going on. I don't know about a blue-red control deck. Could be Jeskai, I guess. If I knew they had counterspells, I would have just passed the turn there. Okay. They didn't have a counterspell for this Roots, so I was like, I'm good to go. But I guess they literally just drew this in their draw step. It's like, you can't can't tell me that they wouldn't have counted the roots there. They drew another one. So they keep drawing Exiles off the top? Or is this an like there's no other, like, I literally, this resolved instantly. So their last 2 draw steps were Exiles. It's not that easy to decipher from my position that they top decked 2 cards that did something that they obviously didn't have on turn 2. But that's just Magic the Gathering sometimes. You have a read on their hand and it doesn't matter because they just top deck exactly the card they didn't have before. Oh well. Okay. I'm wondering about the Tyvar. I mean, the Tyvar, if I hit exactly Town Greeter, I can then cast Overlord as well, which would be awesome. I also like getting Tyvar down. But if I don't hit anything, I'm not going to be very happy. Oh, wow. Those are both pretty good. Yeah, I should take the Town Greeter. Yeah, I was pretty lucky. Molt Tender was a good hit there, too. So Arashin City comes into play tapped. So I should take the Wastewood. Although Arashin City is nice in a control matchup. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do Overlord here. This is going to be tough for them to come back from. I think I'm going to grab those Osteomancer. I could also grab the Tyvar, but the Osteomancer gives me a plant. And I already have a Tyvar. And if they kill my Tyvar, then I can just maybe Coatl back the Tyvar, cast it, get a Molt Tender, get a plant, cast my Osteomancer, go off. Theoretically. Oh, it is Jeskai control. Okay. We did test this matchup, and it did feel, it felt good for Roots, I would say. Not by a mile, but it also depends on how experienced the Jeskai player is. Like, because I knew a lot about Roots because of the whole testing, I think I could make the matchup close to 50-50. But I think an unprepared Jeskai player that doesn't know how to sideboard, there's a lot of room for mistake, I would say, especially in sideboarding. Okay, so, I mean, I used 2 Exiles, so kind of unlikely that they have another one, so I don't think I'm going to play around it. So yeah, I'm just going to Scavenger the I could also Scavenger the Roots. So if I Scavenger Tyvar and then go Osteomancer, I can then cast a Molt Tender, a Llanowar Elf, an Overlord. I can chain a little bit. Yeah, no, I mean, I think this is just more powerful. I can get back the Llanowar Elf here. I should probably get back Town Greeter. I don't have Thrillseeker in my deck anymore for what it's worth. So if they go Day of Judgment next turn, I lose everything. So I gotta be aware of that. They concede. So I think what I should have done there, I should have gotten Llanowar Elf. That gives me a plant. Then with the elf and the plant, I cast Osteomancer. Exiling Town Greeter, land? No. Yeah, maybe yes. Cast Molt Tender. I guess I'm short. I wanted to have this plant untapped, but that wouldn't have worked. Yeah, I mean, without Voldaren Thrillseeker, there's not that much counterplay to sweepers at times. Sometimes you can kill someone instantly with a huge plant, but in this situation, to be able to go off, I needed to tap this plant, I believe. Oh, if no, wait a minute. If I get with this Molt Tender, if I get with this Molt Tender, then I can exile a creature right away. Then I have 3 mana. Play Osteomancer. 1, 2. I have Molt Tender mana. I have plant mana. I have plant mana. That's 3. It's not enough though. I still need to tap this. No. Because yeah. No, that works. That works. I exile this, and then I have 1 mana over. I get the elf. The elf gives me another plant, and then I go Overlord, and then I can maybe keep chaining. Yeah, maybe. Anyways, Sniper can go. Elf probably. I can cut Cauldron maybe, an Ooze maybe. Maverick. I want to have Dark Confidant. I want to have Duress. I want to have Thrillseeker. Mite. And maybe go for the throat for the dragons. But I don't really have anything that's bad. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I was meant to cut another, like, reactive, like another middle card for go for the throat. Like, I'm kind of defenseless against the flyers now. And that's sort of the angle that I found when I was playing Jeskai, that you could kind of aggro the Roots player a little bit. Like, of course, you have to interact with them, but they have a better late game than you almost, because they just regrow whatever cards they need to regrow, play them again, and then build again a big board. So you kind of want to put pressure on them with flyers. So I was actually, when I played against Roots as Jeskai, I was bringing in Overlord of the Mistmoors, as I found that to be, pretty good against, like, just 4 power in the air pressure. That was just nice to have. And then you just slam your creatures, slam your dragons, and just attack them, because they don't really have good counterplay towards that, at least. That means you go into a racing position against them, but I think that's the best bet you can make, and you just have to hope that, like, a timely Get Lost or an early counterspell or an early Tidebinder bought you enough time to win. Am I getting roped out here? Alright, we got roped out. Classy. Very classy of you. Nickname too short. I wish you could, like, insta report people. Just, like, report them. Just for shitty behavior. I guess if you had an insta report button, people would probably abuse it, wouldn't they? So you want to make it a little bit more difficult to report someone. But now I'm, like, feeling almost too lazy to report them. But it's kind of how things should be. Like, anybody who does unclassy behavior should just be reported. And the issue is, I guess you never know if they disconnected or not, but I don't know. I feel like they didn't disconnect. It's just a vibe thing. Maybe they did. I don't know for sure. Play first. No, almost a very good hand. Okay. Keep it. Probably just a greeter. This deck is all over the place, huh? Because it's good against Dimir, maybe. Okay. Oh, it's Jeska Oculus. That's, I think, also a little bit tricky matchup. But Cauldron is certainly very good. Although Cauldron doesn't look very good against their draw right now. Oh, the Dragon Sniper is just a G. Man, I love you. I freaking love you. Okay, so now we have Cauldron developed, so they can't do Oculus shenanigans, and Oculus is kind of like the most powerful thing in the matchup. Oh, there goes my friend. My sniper Reno. But Tyvar will bring you back, don't worry about it. I can make the town greeter into an elf here, or an ooze. Or I can just exile their graveyard. I mean, I'm gonna probably play Tyvar. Get back the sniper. If I draw untapped land, having the elf is nice, as then I can go also Osteomancer in the same swoop. They have the Dragon Hunt, which I do want to exile. Yeah, I'm gonna grow my guy, I guess. It's a little tricky, as then I don't have the Cauldron up next turn. Or like if I exile this, I don't have the Cauldron up. I could also not play the Tyvar for what it's worth. I could just play like these two. Yeah, I kind of like that, to be honest. I'm kind of happy trading my Osteomancer and then also growing my Mite maybe into an elf. I don't know. This is another one of these games where I just don't have the roots, right? And when you don't have roots with this deck just becomes a lot more fair. Oh, that was not a good play. Thank you very much. Nom 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 nom. That was tasty. Tasty FOMO. Okay. So now if I go this, I can then go that. With the Osteomancer. But yeah. 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 I could also just get it back by itself. Yeah, I mean, this is just better, I think. The question is... like, do I want to tap this? It's kind of a nice blocker for that. I could tap this. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna exile you. No, maybe I exile the Ooze. No, I'm gonna exile the Fear. I want to remove... This is so difficult to play, to be honest. I want to remove the ability... sort of like make their helping hand effects worse. Okay, so, well, we're doing things. Not really accomplishing a whole lot. We're kind of like grinding through our opponent's ground resources. So, like, I can keep recurring Death Touchers. I have another Death Toucher here. So the ground with the sniper is kind of well set up for us. The air is the issue, but the air is kind of covered with the Cauldron in a way. At least a little bit. And the ooze that I have here as well, which can start eating on my opponent's graveyard a lot. So I don't feel too bad about the situation, even though it looks kind of tricky right now. My opponent has 13 power in play. I'm just gonna go to 5, that's okay. Here's the roots. Alright, now we're talking. Okay, what do we have? We have 1 ooze in the grave. I guess not. I guess maybe we're not talking. Okay. 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 Yeah, let's roots and let's exile our own ooze. And let's put a counter on those Osteomancer just so it has all the abilities. Okay, and now we can really do some things. It's like all these abilities here on each of these creatures now, so we can make a mana, untap, and with 1, 2, 3, 4 creatures we can eat. I guess I want to start by maybe eating these Dragon Hunts. You can also play another Death Touch creature and then have 4 mana up. Yeah, let's play another Death Touch creature, sure. And I probably do want to exile both of these. So make a mana, exile the Dragon Hunt. Make a mana, exile the Dragon Hunt. Okay, wonderful. So now they have 5 in the grave, so they can't cast Oculus. We have the ground level sort of locked up right now. Tyvar is on 2 again, so I can -2 next turn if I want to. Get lost in the main deck. Alright. Yeah, it's annoying, but I have like the every creature of mine being an ooze, I think is gonna lead to good things for me. I could block here and just eat it, by the way, right? Like, I guess, yeah, because everything's an ooze, and I can just exile 2 things. And my opponent just blundering pretty hard. They attacked into my free town greeter earlier as well. But I mean, the Roots deck is not trivial and easy to play against, for what it's worth. It is not. It's a tricky deck to play against, and I think at least my teammates at the Pro Tour that played the deck also said like they got a lot of points because people just didn't know how to sideboard, how to play against it. They didn't know what was coming for them. Yeah. All right. Let's cut the Elf Maverick maybe. Scavenger maybe. Yeah, we just outgrinded my opponent slowly with these snipers and Death Touch creatures. It's a matchup where I just want a lot of removal, I think. They have maybe Ghost Vacuum, I guess. So 2 Haywire Mites may be reasonable. Haywire Mite doesn't do a whole lot. They have like Prosth and Ghost Vacuum. Ooze seems good. Dark Confidant, Duress, no. Swarmweaver. Swarmweaver seems interesting, at least. Seems kind of annoying for them to deal with. Especially if I have Delirium, which isn't that trivial. Like, it's not that difficult to achieve a Delirium in this deck. So I could bring this in. I could try it out. I don't know what to cut for it. Yeah, so I don't know about the Haywire Mite. I don't know how I feel about the Haywire Mite. I mean, the Proft, I guess, Steam Core Scholar into Proft or something, but like they really don't have like Ghost Vacuum. You often don't even really care that much about, especially if you have roots going. And I do have these Stormbroods that can blow up a Ghost Vacuum. I don't know. Maybe the Swarmweaver is too cute. I can see it's too cute. It is expensive, right? And like if I don't have Death Touch, it just gets outclassed by the various things they have. That's a very nice opening hand. It misses the mill effect, I guess, but besides that, I like it. It's just Molt Tender. Dragon Sniper has impressed, I have to say, in this set of matches. Seems very nice into these Mako decks. I think I'm just going to develop the Cauldron. Getting Cauldron down as early as possible just shuts off that most annoying avenue they have. And now these Dragon Snipers again can take over the ground. I think the scariest card right now for me is something like Steam Core Scholar. Because it doesn't care about the Cauldron, and it is a flyer that they can buff with the Profts. So that, but actually, I mean, this thing has reach. Dragon Sniper just does it all, you know? It's just the king. Mill myself. Exile that starting town. So they have Get Lost, so I don't know if I want to play the roots when I don't have anything to get back right away. I could play roots and then Overlord, I guess. If I play roots and they Get Lost me, it wouldn't be that fun. You know what? This looks weird, but I think I'm gonna do this first. Oh, wow. Okay. Love you all. Kinda. I mean, I don't really need this right now. I have double Dragon Sniper as removal. So I guess I'll just take the most powerful card, huh? Just deploy another sniper, right? Yeah, the reason why I wanted to do Overload before Roots, even though it's unintuitive to do so, is because I have Cauldron already in play, I have Molt Tender in play. So the bigger my graveyard is, the better it is if I play the Roots, because then, you know, with these cards, I can instantly make more plans. Because I didn't have a graveyard at all there. If I then go Roots into Overlord, it guarantees me one plan, probably. Or in that case, if I want to take Tyvar, I don't even get a plan, to be fair. They took the Sheltered. I guess that's a reason to have Haywire Mite in your deck, huh? They bind the Sheltered there too. That surprises me a little bit. Makes me think they have another one in hand, because the Sheltered looks like a card that you would want in this situation. Wait a minute. Did I mess up there? Probably not. Okay, so... Okay, now the party's about to start, I guess. We go Roots. Then we go... Cauldron, Exile, Tender? Maybe? Is that correct? I'm not even sure about that, to be honest. Put a counter here. Get a plant. Now I can tap these three. Tyvar. Can exile the Stormbrood. Make another plant. Tyvar. Yep. Then mill myself. Found an Osteomancer. Hell yeah. Okay, so then I can play a Town Greeter. Find an untapped land. I haven't made a land drop yet. And now I can cast this Sniper or this Overlord. I'd also like to get the roots back, I guess. But nah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's just activate you, cast Overlord, exile these three, trigger again, get a Tender or a Sniper. Just a Sniper, I guess. Play the Sniper. And I guess play the Tender, sure. Yeah. Alright. Well, that was a turn. Ah, I forgot to attack from a Vigilance creature. 1 damage. Oops. Okay, well, we got 5 plants, 6 plants even. One of them is 6/7. Yeah. I mean, this is what Roots does. When it has Roots. When it doesn't have Roots, we have to do the sort of like grindy, sloggy way that we did in game 1, which also worked out. Yeah. Wow, I finally made Platinum. Deck's broken. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, Roots is very powerful. Dragon Sniper convinced me a lot. If Fear of Missing Out, Marauding Mako, and Vivi, like that type of deck is popular right now, then I like the second Cauldron in the main deck. I like the Oozes. I like the Snipers a lot. And the Snipers also seem great against Dimir. And this matchup is crushing already, as we see in the untapped data. So it already has a good Dimir matchup, apparently, which makes sense. You know, it makes structurally sense. Dimir or black mid-range decks, not very good against Roots. Yeah, so it's in a really good position. I think in terms of matchups that are not great, blue-white control, I think. Like Rest in Peace, Ultima, that type of stuff. You don't want to face that. That's a tough one. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, else couldn't really think of much. I think like all the black mid-range decks are good matchups. Dimir is a good matchup. The deck is fairly resilient and good on the ground. So like even aggro decks are not very good at overrunning it. I mean, we literally played it, or the Handshake played it for a Pro Tour where we expected a ton of prowess in mono red. So it is not that bad against aggro. Otherwise, we wouldn't have 5 of us wouldn't have registered the deck for Pro Tour, of course. Yeah, so that's Green-Black Roots. I hope I could give you some good understanding of how the deck works and why it's good. I hope I could convey my thoughts as best to you guys. Even though this was not the deck I played for the Pro Tour, I did learn, of course, a little bit by watching and playtesting against my teammates on the deck. And yeah, thank you so much for watching as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you next time. Take care.